You're listening to the Jiu Jitsu Lou podcast with me, Lou Temlett. I'm guessing you're having a good day because either you've been on the mats, are considering getting on the mats, or taking your best mate to train. I'm so happy you're here listening or watching this episode. Please don't tap out before the end. When you want to meet friends and get more girls and women onto the mat, start training Jiu Jitsu. I'd like to welcome Taylor Ben to my podcast. Taylor, hello. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Very good, thank you. So we're joined by Taylor and her dad, Darrell. Hi, Dad. How are you doing?
Not too bad, thank you.
Good. I'm really pleased to have you on the show because I met you both yesterday at the Enyo grappling competition over in Weston-Super-Mare. It was absolutely fantastic to meet you there. And you're not local, are you?
No, definitely not.
So where did you drive down from?
West Yorkshire.
Oh my goodness.
I think it's 240 mile.
And was that all your driving, Dad?
Everything's on Dad.
Well, cheer for the dads because Taylor, you wouldn't have been there without your dad yesterday.
No, definitely not.
So you were matched up against, remind me.
Danielle Bailey,
and you had a good match. Tell me about it.
I'd say it was good at first.
I think it were evenly matched, wasn't it?
Yeah, evenly matched at first. But then obviously I got swept and then everything went from bad to worse. But then towards the end, I managed to get her off and then I ended up in a good position.
But the time
ran out.
Oh, and was it a 6-minute match? Remind me from yesterday.
5-minute match.
5 minutes. So as a white belt, I know that it's a 5-minute match, a blue belt, 6 minutes. But a lot of the ladies had 10-minute matches yesterday.
Yeah.
Now, Taylor, give me your ranking and where you currently train.
So I'm grey belt, a solid grey, which is equivalent to a white belt with 2 stripes.
As an adult,
like juvenile or adult belt.
Yeah.
And I train from Doncaster Martial Arts Centre and Legacy MMA Kingsley.
And
Grapple Clinic.
Oh my goodness.
Mat Rats.
That's amazing. So you have 4 different gyms that you train at.
Yeah.
And I want to know when you started training and what your interest was to actually get you onto the mats in the first place.
So I started training September 2020.
Wow. So that really is only not even 2 years ago.
No. Well, it's... No.
It was 2021,
It's 21, sorry.
21.
It was 21. It'll be 3 years. She'll have been training 3 years in September.
Yeah.
Fantastic. That's not long at all. And to see you on the Enyo mats is just incredible. I've seen you around on socials so much, and probably most of my listeners have also seen you on socials. So what brought you to the mats in the first place?
Well, I come from like a fighting background.
Tell me more.
So when I was younger, I did kickboxing, and then we
had
stopped.
A bit of time out, didn't we?
We timed out a bit, and then my dad got me into Jiu Jitsu actually, because
Nice.
he thought that I wasn't doing much exercise then. If you get me, I were doing PE lessons in school, but not really anything outside.
Yeah.
So that was the reason why I started Jiu Jitsu.
Well, Dad, I want to congratulate you again for getting Taylor into Jiu Jitsu. I'm just going to quickly ask you, Dad, Darrell, why Jiu Jitsu?
I'm a big fan at UFC.
Okay, good.
And I like old UFC before it became mainstream, where Ice Gracie won Ultimate Fighter 1 and 2.
Nice.
And a little man, because he's not a big man, Ice fighting, Ken Shamrock.
Yeah.
And he was a big wrestler. And it proved to me that no matter how big you are, you can overpower somebody with jiu-jitsu. So I can't do it, so I thought next best thing is get Taylor to do it. And
nice.
She had her first lesson and she was up. It was just, you could tell it was there straight away. She come out that first session and said, "Dad, I want to do this." So
Oh,
we've continued down the journey, and it's been a good journey so far. She's been very fortunate in her journey, like the fights that she's had and the people that she's met.
yeah.
It's amazing, and I get to live through her eyes.
Nice. And I think that's the joy of being a parent. You know, sometimes we can't do some of those things for whatever reason, but to, you know, kind of live life through our children and be able to see them grow and develop. You know, if listeners, you're not parents yet, or you have no interest in being a parent, the joy that comes from it, maybe you've got nieces or nephews or no kids around, and be able to see them grow and develop is just, I don't know. For me, Darrell, that's why I'm here.
Yeah, it's your purpose. You want the kids to be a better version of you.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Jiu Jitsu is giving that to Taylor. It's teaching her discipline, respect, being humble.
Yeah.
It's all qualities that you want in a person.
Absolutely. And I can vouch for that, Taylor. When I met you yesterday in person, you were all of those things. It was the kind of graciousness, the humbleness, the kind of respectful young individual. So I'm really grateful that you're flying the flag for, you know, young jiu-jitsu people in the mix. So just well done to you, and thank you for being there. And you act and operate exactly the same online as well. So
thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that really means a lot, to be fair.
Good. So it should, because, you know, you're the next generation. For me as a female and a parent in jiu-jitsu, you know, to have the younger generation, I watch you in your match and I learn, you know, whilst you might be learning, I'm learning from you and your moves and how you're kind of thinking and operating. You know, I can't remember how you came onto the mat, but I know a lot of the competitors yesterday were kind of, you know, stepping around the mat, you know, running around the mat, really hyping up. What's your routine when you go to compete?
Rituals for the night before is a big meal.
Yeah.
What's on your menu?
It just depends where we are. It's usually burgers, yeah.
Dad, you need to be quiet now. Taylor, tell me.
So I normally have burgers, but then I usually have on them barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
Like I can't go anywhere
without
barbecue sauce. Okay. I know it sounds daft on a burger, but it's really, really nice to me. And then with the chips, I just like them on their own. I can say as this helps.
Nice. I agree with the chips. I'm not a sauce on chips kind of person. You know, that's your kind of night before ritual. An early night. What's your?
Yeah.
Fully rested. Day at fight, she doesn't get nervous really.
No, I just on a car journey. If it's a car journey, I put my headphones on. And
just blocks everybody out.
I just listen to music until we're there, and then I take them off.
Nice. You were incredibly calm yesterday. You know, I was messaging a friend who couldn't be live at the match yesterday to watch you. Yeah. But we were talking about the energy, and for me as a spectator, there was no nervous energy. Everything was really calm. You know, I wasn't.
I think that just comes with time and just we're used to it now. It's just a part of it. So I think she just comes out as cool as a cucumber. It's unreal.
It's just normal.
Whereas I'm the other way. I get really nervous.
Oh, so what do you do to kind of calm your nerves, Dad?
It's nervous wheeze with me. That's what it is with me. So if you see that I'm going to the toilet 5 or 6 times in about 10 minutes, you know that it's me what's nervous. Yeah.
So as well as living the success through your child, you're living the nervousness through your child as well.
Yeah, every second of it. But it's what she loves to do, and
so good.
It's just awesome. It's just me. I can't get a grip on my nerves. She's how she is, and it's just me.
Well, I think it's better for you to have the nerves, Darrell, and leave Taylor to be that calm, cool, collected young woman on the mats at every match.
Yeah.
So, Taylor, talk to me about your strategy when you're on the mats. Do you have a game plan? What are you thinking about?
So when I first step onto mats, or as I say, when I'm walking to the mat area, I sort of like think to myself, I've got to be aggressive. I've got to be on point. I've got to like take them off guard and like, you know.
You haven't really got a specific game.
No, I don't have a game plan because normally when I have game plan, yeah.
It never goes right. You can have a game plan in your head, but as soon as you try to execute it, it just goes out the window, and then it's just like, let's adapt.
Yeah.
Let's see where this takes us.
I saw a comment on socials earlier where someone was kind of, you know, 3 great kind of escapes from something, and one of the comments was, "That's great if they're not fighting back."
True.
But
true. It's really true.
Yeah.
So where do you kind of go from? Because I've kind of switched my strategy to going for grips as a very new white belt to defending the legs and the lower body, because I've now learned that that's the most powerful, kind of strongest part of a human in a match or kind of drilling. So whilst it might not be a strategy, what are you focusing on most?
In gi, you want grips. More than anything, really. As you saw yesterday, there wasn't much of that. It was sitting down, pulling guard, and just trying to play off the back. Yeah. I don't particularly like guard players anymore, although I used to be one of them. I'm now like a wrestle type of girl.
Yeah.
So in no-gi, which is my preferred profession, I usually look at getting collar ties or going for the legs.
Nice. I love that. And are there any tips for anyone? I've not really trained much in no-gi, but do you have any recommendations for anyone that hasn't tried no-gi in terms of kind of mindset, strategy, what they go for, and how they start with no-gi?
So what I say is to focus on your wrestling point of it, because that plays a major part in your no-gi.
Yeah, there's a lot what can be transferred from gi to your no-gi. So it's not really a daunting jump from gi to no-gi.
No, but there is less grips because you haven't got the lapels or the sleeves or the pants. You've only got the arms and the necks and stuff. So I'd focus on grips, or at least shooting for takedowns. Even if it goes wrong, at least you've tried. Just try. Trying is the major bit. Yeah. So that's what I'd advise.
Good. Go with the takedowns and ignore the grips, but good. This is the Jiu Jitsu Lou podcast with me, Lou Temlett, coming to you from the UK. Go and check out the latest video clips of the show over on Instagram at jiu.jitsu.lu or on YouTube. And as you're listening or watching this episode on your favourite podcast platform, I'd really appreciate you dropping the show a 5-star rating. Today, I'm having a conversation with Taylor Ben and her dad, Darrell. So, Taylor, you have competed yesterday at Enyo. How many competitions have you taken part in now?
Over 20, I'd say.
Wow. And you've been training for 3 years and you've done over 20 competitions.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Do you remember your first match?
Yep.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
So the first match I had didn't go my way. So basically, it was my first competition and obviously nerves were high. So I stepped onto the mats, obviously nervous. We shook hands and then obviously a guard puller. She pulled guard and it completely caught me off guard for some reason.
Cross collar.
And then she got me straight into a cross collar, which I didn't know how to defend.
I think she'd only got 3 stripes and a white belt, so she was only 3 months in.
Yeah.
Wow.
But the second fight in that category, she won.
So,
and it earned
as
you
you
the
know,
bronze.
yeah.
It earned you the bronze.
Yeah. So as you know, on my socials, my Instagram name is Taylor the Armbar Queen Ben.
Yes.
And I've named that for this reason, is because that very first competition, my second fight, I got the girl in an armbar.
Well done.
Yeah.
And how old were you when you did your first competition?
13.
13. That is incredible. I love the fact that there's a story behind the Armbar Queen. Is that one of the moves that is still in your mix, or do you think so is that your kind of go-to submission now?
If it's there.
Yeah, if it's there, obviously I hunt subs from start to finish, but it is mainly arm bars. I've won all of my matches on arm bars, apart from one which was an Americana, and the other one was a point scoring system.
Nice. I love that. I've been practicing the chokes recently. I've kind of overcome the squeamishness of, pulling on chokes or arm bars, and I'm getting there. When my first competition comes up.
We'll be there cheering you when you go for your first competition. We'll come down and we'll give you some support and some love.
Oh, that would be amazing. I think, one of the big things, isn't it? Having the community of friends, if you don't have family around, it's your bunch of friends. And at the top of the show, he said about meeting friends and getting more girls and women onto the mat. And I know yesterday you met up with lots of friends that you might not have seen. Do you want to name drop any of them?
The girl from Ireland.
Yeah. So there's a girl that I've really looked up to. Her name is Maisie Vines. I don't want to pronounce that wrong.
Yeah.
But she's come from all the way from Ireland.
Yeah.
Just to do a match, which she won by, I think it was judge's decision.
Yeah.
But her and Olivia Marlowe were like one of the best in the teens bracket.
Yeah.
So it's really like good to see that level.
Yeah.
And then don't forget your good friend Poppy.
Poppy, we met at the first competition actually. So we have been friends for nearly 3 years. She came up to me and asked me for a role on that first competition to warm.
Oh wow.
So then we warmed each other up, and I think we both got bronze. I'm not sure. I think I got bronze and she got, I don't know, I can't remember, gold or something.
No, I can't remember.
But then ever since, like every competition that we've both been at, we've been like constantly together. Like,
nice.
You won't be in a competition where you don't see us apart.
Well, we went to the motel for Enyo's. We've had 2 nights.
Yeah.
With parents. The parents are lovely. I come down with them. We sat and had a drink with them Friday night, didn't we?
Yeah.
In Bath.
Yeah. And as we both lost yesterday, it's brought us more closer together. I think, because losing is a big part of jiu-jitsu as well as winning. Like, you can't always win a fight. Poppy's been on a winning streak. She's been on a winning streak. And I've looked up to that, so every time we see each other, it's like...
She were always in your category, though, weren't she? She was always in your category. So
yeah, we're always fighting.
You could never get the gold, but she's been promoted to yellow and white, so Poppy's out of that category now. So Taylor's got a bit more of a chance to bring some more gold.
Yeah, she's a solid opponent, and I feel for anybody that was against her. If you're watching this and you go against Poppy,
God bless her.
Oh, do you know what? It's so good. All of the women that did amazingly yesterday all had people cheering them on and supporting them. That was really noticeable. Having that support network around, whatever you're doing in life, having those people there. And I think, even more so with what you've just been sharing with jiu-jitsu, having the people that match in, match out around the country at different competitions.
Yeah, it's just same faces, different town. It's who's on the comp scene. If you don't see them, they're not competing.
Yeah.
So yeah, when we go to a competition, she's gone. As soon as we've signed her in and weighed her in, she's gone and she's just socialising. She just went round our mats and, photos here, photos there. It's good.
Constant support as well.
Yeah.
Like, once you meet people, like, they might come to watch your match, shout for you and cheer you on, and then you're doing the exact same for them as what they've done for you. So it's like a vice versa.
Yeah.
Which is also really good about meeting friends.
Yeah. It's so good. I can absolutely vouch for meeting friends. I very much go along and support competitions, not yet competed, but just to kind of be in that competition mix and, get to know people in the jiu-jitsu world, because everyone just is so lovely and supportive, because it's not just being on the mats. It engulfs the rest of your life.
The lifestyle. It's just
completely.
a lifestyle.
Completely.
It's just, like I said, we've got friends through her friends. So we know that we're always welcome. And nobody's there to, I don't know, it's good.
Yes.
What's happening, and especially with girls, because they all get together at these big comps. And they just show each other love. There's no backbiting or...
There's no
animosity.
No.
I think it's brilliant.
Yeah. That's it. Hopefully is leaving everyone listening or watching this with a good feeling, because that's what I'm here to spread and support and listen to, the likes of Taylor and yourself, Darrell, talk about it in a positive way. Life's full of so many challenges, but actually to have, the love and support through a kind of community. Now, you mentioned MMA earlier. Do you still train MMA now?
No.
Okay.
I didn't want to get him smacked in the face, to be fair.
No, so
that's why we chose Jiu Jitsu.
I did start it back up last year.
We were thinking about
like just K1. Because I was thinking about going down the MMA route. And then, because again, it was full of boys and men and stuff, like the gym, it put me off completely. So I just sort of stick to Jiu Jitsu. I feel like that's what's going to take me high in my career.
I know there were a lot of kind of foot locks, leg locks, all sorts of things going on yesterday, and I did have to look away from the mats occasionally, but generally we're all kept very safe, and that's one of the benefits as well about
100%.
training, kind of being jiu-jitsu. Whilst it's a wrestling sport or kind of martial art, it's a safe space to be, and Dan,
you've just got to tap, haven't you? If it's on, you just tap.
Exactly. So you travelled a great distance yesterday and kind of over the weekend. How are you supported by taking part in martial arts? Because we all know that training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu comes at a cost. So tell me about how you're supported.
A lot of the sponsors help out with fuel costs,
travel costs, and hotel stays.
A lot of it is self-funded, but the sponsors take a bit of that burden away. So DK Landscapes, they give £100 a month. That is for personals that month. And that's them two gingers.
So it's like a double...
The husband and wife, it's a double sponsor. So... Nice. That's all in together. Then Harper Shaw help us financially. They've just paid for
a training
camp in Lake District.
Oh, wow.
This coming Saturday?
This Saturday at Lobo Gym in the Lake Districts. It's a 6-hour comp class, preparing them for nationals in 3 weeks' time. So, and Boris Sport, they sort all fight wear out, all the clothing. Jakeaway Nutrition helps to keep on weight. We say eating clean, fighting mean.
Yeah.
And Ultimate Stoves, they help out financially. So it all helps because it is self-funded and it is a lot of money. Like weekends away, because it's been a full weekend away with fuel costs. It's a lot of money.
Yeah. I think if, you're in a competitive environment, to have sponsors, because actually your name is as much seen as your sponsors. I spotted you from seeing your sponsors on the back of your gi yesterday, and I was like, that's Taylor. I need to get a selfie with Taylor, which we did. So you might be seeing that on socials very soon. I think it's just incredible, Taylor. And, kudos to you, Darrell, for supporting and all of the sponsors to kind of, get you through this.
I've done nothing in the way of helping to get these sponsors. Taylor puts herself out there.
That's amazing.
Taylor's done it all herself. It's not me going to companies. We've got a good little community around us where we live, and they just want to see her succeed, and they want it same as what we're wanting for her. They want it to be a success, and they're backing that with money. They're putting the money where the mouth is. But there's room for more. There's always room for more.
Yes, I saw this. I saw the gaps on the back of the gi.
It's real estate to us that night. It's real estate. That space on the back of her t-shirt is real estate. You've got to pay now. You've got to pay to be on the back of that.
So, Taylor, tell me what your vision is, if you know, for the next 12 months. I'm sure you've got your whole jiu-jitsu career mapped out. But what would mean the most to you over the next year?
Basically just getting my name out there, trying like new shows that I've never been on before, and then hopefully doing a big IBJJF at the end. So I think there's one in Dublin. So
October time, I think.
Yeah, I'll be juvenile then, but obviously.
But you've got some big fights coming up. You've got nationals you've got Liverpool in 3 weeks.
Which is a Victor Invitational.
That's another invitational. She's got nationals this month. She's got another invitational in
Grapple House Invitationals in April.
And then it'll be. It should probably have
3 months.
3 months hard training for Worlds.
Yeah, Worlds in July. August, I hope to be back in Enyo.
Yeah.
And then it'll be
September.
Euros, internationals, and
internationals.
There's so many dates to think about. I can imagine the calendar at home kind of blocked out with all of your competitions, and
it's not written down. It's all up here.
Love it. I think you're going to be overrun with competitions that you might need some way of documenting it. And I also hope that this episode is kind of a benchmark for you to be able to see, where you are in a year's time, and come back on and talk to me about your journey, because this show is very much about getting more girls and women onto the mats, and to be able to see how far we've come, whether you feel it or not, you can kind of go through life and feel like you've got nowhere, or life is challenging. But actually, if you've got something to look back on and go, I've achieved this, I've done this and done that, it's such a joy. And to remind yourself as, your progress and growth over time. And I know you're still young and you've got a massive career ahead of you, which I'm very much looking forward to following. Do you have any tips for any white belts out there?
Obviously, like in the training room, I know there's some people that call them snazzy white belts.
Spazzy.
Oh, spazzy.
Spazzy.
I like snazzy. I like snazzy better. I'm going to rename them to snazzy white belts.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
Snazzy white belts. Most white belts who are ridiculous. Some of them just don't tap, or they're just people that, you can get two sides. Obviously in competition it's all full board, and then in training it's just like you just keep calm and stuff, and then see what happens, where it leads you to and stuff like that.
You're at Gracie Barra, so you won't have gone into the advanced class for, is it 3 stripes? Is it 3 stripes and you're allowed in advanced class?
Yeah, I've been 4 stripes for a while so far.
Yeah, but you can't go and do advanced until you've got 3 stripes, can you?
That's exactly it. Yeah.
So you're getting that bit of experience with people what's the same level as you.
Yeah, level.
And then obviously as you go up, they're going up with you.
Yeah.
So you just like,
I don't know. It's hard.
just keep training.
Just keep training. That's all it is. It's time on the mats.
Yeah.
It's
and
time
just play with stuff.
It's time
Nice.
that like it's precious. Like
Yeah.
I get that, when you're a white belt.
You're not a white belt for long.
You're not a white belt for long, then it's blue.
Just enjoy it.
And then you'll just be moving up the belts like lightning.
Just enjoy it.
But just enjoy it because
as soon as you turn to blue, you're in Shark Tank. As soon as you get to blue, you're in Shark Tank.
I'm quite happy staying in the pond for a while.
Yeah. Well, when you're thinking of competing, then are you thinking of doing it soon or?
Yes, I do actually have something lined up. It's still a little bit under the radar at the moment, but it's coming up. It's coming up. I'm absorbing my energy in competitions and feeling, the calmness from you, Taylor, and other competitors, and it's just a really nice energy. So I'm kind of leveling up my emotional, energetic game by attending comps before I'm ready to compete.
Well, that's a good way you're getting a feel for it. I would say don't overthink it. Yeah. Don't overthink it. It's just a 5-minute spar. That's how I think of it. Yeah. It's just a 5-minute spar.
It's just think of it like have you ever had like a aggressive roll? Like a really like
a couple of times, but I feel like my area for development right now is finding that fire.
Yeah.
And not being completely calm all the time. So I want to know how you find that fire, because that's the bit I need to turn on right now.
I think it's just time, Taylor. I just think it's you're confident in the training that you've done.
Yeah.
You're confident that you're ready.
It's the moves. Like I check the rule sets before I then go to the comp. So maybe a few weeks before we'll run over that and then get it absolutely perfect so that you can't forget it. But obviously in some competitions and your mind's all over, like you can't think properly. But it sort of like helps me, I guess it just helps me focus, like when the time comes, like to focus on what we've been working on.
Yeah, because that's what you'll do. You'll work within the rule set. You'll have your personals with deck. And they'll work on things. So Enyo's is a bit different rule set. It was as a team you can use omoplatas.
No, you can't. No. Triangles, armbars, Americanas, kimuras.
Straight like
and that's it. No.
Enyo's you had it.
No, you can't.
Right, before it cascades into Darrell Taylor conversation and disagreements or agreements, we will end this episode. I want to thank you both, and it was just such a pleasure meeting you both yesterday, and I hope to see you again very soon at your next competition. How can people get hold of you, Taylor, or follow your journey?
There's multiple accounts on Instagram. I have my main account, which is Taylor_BJJX. Well, it's xTaylor_BJJX.
Yeah.
Then I have this one is special because it's a girls only account. So I started this with Millie Johns in September last year.
Yeah.
And since then, it's just been blowing up.
What's the name, Taylor?
Girls with BJJ.
We're getting stories from all over the world of the jiu-jitsu.
Wow.
What we provide is stories from ex-cancer patients, ex-drug users.
They're just telling you the journey, aren't they?
They're just telling you how jiu-jitsu has changed their lives. It's incredible, the amount of stories we've put out there. We've teamed up with Find Your Fight Kids, which is also helping kids
find fights.
Good.
If you go on Instagram and drop them a follow as well, that will be much appreciated. But yeah, if anyone has their story, please go and message them, because I'll definitely put it on. and there's also one on Facebook, just Girls of BJJ. I post regularly. Well, I haven't been.
She's getting them from all over the world, posting it.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Brazil, Canada, Spain. They're coming in from thick and fast, and it's just picking pace up now. And it's like a snowball getting bigger.
Amazing. I will add all of those links in the show notes for you. But for now, Taylor and Darrell, thank you so much for joining the show, and keep in touch.
Thank you for having us on.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Like it's big, so thank you.
You're welcome. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you for telling your friends about this show. And as soon as this episode ends, I'd love you to rate, review, and download this episode. Take care, and I will catch you on the next episode of the Jiu Jitsu Lou podcast.